Vanessa, we have tuned in to the best show and podcast in all of New York City. Remember, I love still scrolling. Oh, thank you, Wilson Fisk. Welcome to Still Scrolling. I'm Justin.
Jesus Christ, I'm Derek.
I'm Stefania. This is my first time here.
Wow, actually, welcome Stefania to Still Scrolling Special Viewers Unit, a after show where we talk about the show that we just watched and we dedicate an entire episode to that topic. And today we're talking about the Daredevil finale, and we have been waiting, praying that Stefania would get here with us. It's been a minute.
I did it.
Finally, you know what? Like, proud of you, Stefania.
Thank
it
you.
took a minute. We got there eventually, you know?
Yeah, we got there eventually. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
It
This is
was
a
a
live
journey.
studio audience.
It was a journey to get here. I'd like to thank not only Disney Plus but Marvel for this opportunity to binge the shows before the finale and finally make it here to the finale of our Daredevil SVU series.
Yes, we are so excited to talk about it. Remember, our podcast will include spoilers for the entire season of Daredevil Born Again, all the seasons of Daredevil ever, any MCU project adjacent, actually spoilers for the entire MCU and the comics universe going forward. So listen at your own risk. So let's start off the show. Thoughts about Daredevil finale? What did we think, guys? Like, okay, let's do a thumbs up, thumbs down. A general temperature of the room. All right, ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, all right. Derek is a little bit cocked a little bit to the side. Stefania's all the way thumbs up.
Kind
No,
of.
like,
I just thought of something that was but
interesting. I'm kind of like between really good and like
yeah.
middle.
I'm like in the
whatever.
same area as you.
Yeah, okay, all right. Derek, it seems you are the most negative on this show. Not on Still Scrolling, but on Daredevil. Why wasn't it a home run?
I think we've been talking about it through the weeks with the SVU shows, but it's very clear that the show used to be 22 episodes and got cut down to the 9. That's pretty much my only gripe with it.
Okay, what signs are you referring to specifically?
I think kind of specific characters' journeys, like their arcs, are a little bit just kind of like only plot points, right? And I don't think there was a lot of like just exposition for the sake of like informing the audience of what's going on or whatever. But Heather, for example, is a really good example of just like her arc is just literally plot point to plot point to plot point to plot point. You know that she's maybe thinking about a book on vigilantes. You know that she's a therapist, and then she gets attacked by one. But one saves her. But the therapist processed her trauma in the complete opposite way that a person should process their trauma, and somehow took it out on vigilantes, and also fell victim to Fisk's propaganda and your therapist. So it didn't feel like as earned as it could have been. Daniel's another example where he's the head of communications, which is honestly actually very accurate to the way real life works for white dudes, where they can just be mediocre and still get promoted and run the communications department but that's besides the point. So I just, I think they cut out a lot of these journeys for these characters. BB is another one. Obviously Daredevil, thankfully Daredevil, Matt, Fisk, they got their time on screen. They got their stories fleshed out. They're the main characters. But I think more so the side characters and the way that it all kind of connects felt very Frankensteined to an extent, because they had to cut and patch and stitch together to reduce the episode count.
It feels
Interesting.
unfinished.
Wow.
You know what it felt
Yeah.
like? It felt like a mid-season finale.
Yes.
Ooh, that is true. I think
Yeah.
it is a mid-season because they're
Or
literally
a penultimate episode instead of the last.
interesting.
Because they're
Okay.
filming season 2 right now, right?
That is true. Stefania, what did you think of Daredevil finale and I guess Daredevil Born Again finale and the show as a whole? Because we don't know what your
You're
thoughts
right.
are.
You don't know. So I I just was like, there's so many things that happen in this show, and it's, for a reason they do this that reflects real life. And you're just watching and you're thinking this kind of hits too close to home. But with the finale, God, I hate Heather. She
That's Bay,
bothers
though.
me.
Wait.
No, not Bay, because She-Hulk better. Let's be honest.
She's fine, but she's not Bae. Not the way she was acting.
She-Hulk better. Give me some Tatiana Maslany and more of Charlie Cox, okay?
She-Hulk would never.
She-Hulk would
She-Hulk-
never.
Yeah, she would not. She would not become the mental health director for Wilson fucking Fisk.
Yeah,
No.
she become the Attorney General.
But no, for real though, I think was she like a psychotherapist? I don't know if that's the actual title.
Psychologist?
So, I don't know. Because they said psychologist, but then she's like, actually, I'm a psychotherapist. I don't know if that's whatever.
Yeah.
But
honestly, it seems more like Groupon therapist.
No, I think she's a real therapist. I think I don't want to go in too much because how we're going to not review, but like talk about the finale and Daredevil as a whole. I think it'd be best if we go character by character so we can like kind of see their season-long arc, I guess. So we can use this opportunity to talk about Heather, our favorite therapist. And I just want to say, am I disappointed in Heather? Yes. Is she still fine? Yes. But also, you have to don't give me that look, Stefania. Have you seen Heather?
I've seen Heather. She's pretty, right? But like, she's not pretty smart up here. Let's be honest.
Listen.
Because she's a therapist. She literally went to school to study people, right?
Okay, I think
and could not see through Fisk's lies and manipulation. Come on.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's Fisk manipulating her. Number one, I think Heather is also a victim of the cutting room floor, in that I feel as though we should have had a lot more scenes of her actually in the room being a therapist, right? And when the scenes that we do see with Vanessa and Fisk in couples counseling, right, which is a great idea on paper, she doesn't really say anything or give her opinion or like, and we don't have another character. Like sometimes I thought like, oh, well, she can't give her actual opinion to Fisk, you know what I mean? There's no other character in her orbit. She's kind of on like an island on her own to like converse with. There's no like, she doesn't have a best friend. We don't know about her family, a brother, a sister. You know what I mean? She doesn't interact with any other cast besides Wilson and Daredevil. And so when those people are like at odds, it just feels she's like out of the loop, right? Yeah. But from her perspective, she wrote this book about why masks are bad or how it's an unhealthy trauma response, right? She then unknowingly takes one of them as her client and she tries to kill her. Unacceptable. And then when Daredevil comes in to quote unquote save the day, it's not really about saving Heather. I think it's really about beating the shit out of the Muse, you know? And she calls Daredevil on that. She's like, that really wasn't about me. Daredevil didn't save me. I shot Muse. Pop, pop, pop. You know? She had the
Hold on. I think.
Listen, I'm saying it's from her perspective.
You got the plane right over the landing strip. Okay? But then you took right back off. So I think separate from why Daredevil was there, right? Yeah, it was probably to beat the shit out of Muse and less so secondarily about saving Heather. But from Heather's point of view, she knows damn well Daredevil saved her. Okay, because like, come on, right? So I'm not saying
that Daredevil didn't save her, but like,
right.
she ended the fight. She got the last hit in.
Yeah,
Pop,
definitively.
pop, pop.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep. So that's what that means for Matt. For her, I think what it means is that now she has to come to terms with the fact that she'd be dead if it weren't for an actual person wearing a mask that doesn't necessarily have it be like this weird, unhealthy thing for him, which even though at that point in the story it still kind of is, but that's besides the point. The point is she's coming to terms with the fact that like, oh, not all vigilantes are weirdo creeps. So I think that's probably ultimately why she got pushed more towards the Wilson Fisk
Here's the
side.
thing, though. And then she goes to a party. Her boyfriend shows up late, doesn't even tell her that she's coming in, right? And then that same boyfriend, that blind boyfriend, jumps in front of a bullet. And then when you carry his ass to the hospital, you drag him, your dress gets all bloody. The first name out of his mouth is another girl.
You know what?
That wouldn't make you mad. It wouldn't
She
make
was
you
valid.
mad.
She was valid for
Hold
that.
hold up.
She was valid for that.
What's really funny?
Stefania, your lover's in the hospital. You dragged them. You know, they took a bullet, but not for you. They don't care if you died. They care. And the whole time you're having a conversation, they're having a whole thing. You drag them to the hospital. And then they look you in the eye. Well, not Daredevil couldn't look you in the eye. He wakes up. He says, Stacy.
Okay.
That wouldn't make you mad?
No, it would, but like, hold
you
on.
turn evil?
I wouldn't turn evil, but like, hold on. So what's funny about that is that Daredevil can sense like who he's talking to if he touches them, right? He can sense who it is. So it's really funny that he he said the wrong name when he touched Heather's hand, because obviously he would have known it was Heather. So I just find that really funny. I don't know if it's because, like, you know, he literally was injured.
Delirious.
I know that, but like, I just found it really funny that happened. Like, he's known to, you know, be able to find who people are, find out how they are just by touch.
With a drawing too.
With a drawing.
Found that the drawing was Heather just by touch.
Yeah.
And then when she grabs his hand, it's like, who?
Yeah, literally.
Who's this bitch? Yeah.
Dang. Oh, brutal. I will say, Heather, I think, unfortunately, was just not a hit this season. Like, seriously, I think she could have been so much more. I think her relationship with Daredevil is really fascinating. There's just not enough there for me to really like sink my teeth into it.
I'm afraid she is falling into a typecast of the good person who unknowingly or accidentally or unintentionally falls into an antagonistic role, because that's what she was in The Acolyte. She wanted to fight. She didn't want the Jedi there. It was like this whole thing.
Come on.
Right. She was trying to do good for her children and what she thought was best, but ultimately that the whole reason what's the other mom's name? The actress. Jodie
Turner?
Yeah, the whole reason she got stabbed was because, you know, shit was about to go down. Anyway, the point is, I think we're gonna hate her even more in season 2, but I think she's probably gonna come back around and realize, hey, okay, my bad, you know.
No, I think she's
My
gonna
bad.
die.
I'm just a girl.
I think she's a goner.
Yeah, she clearly has her own issues, and I think she's a perfect example why doctors have doctors of their own that they go see, and they don't self-diagnose and that kind of deal.
So, enough with Heather. Let's talk about the real star of the show, Benjamin Poindexter, which we find out what really happened and how he got out the first time. And it is confirmed that Vanessa got him out.
Vanessa!
I think the most important part about this is that Poindexter does not seem coherent.
Yeah.
And or like
lucid
in when he's signing these things. He was definitely taken advantage of. Mm-hmm. Like, shockingly, you know, I'm like, he's evil, but don't let you feel bad for him. But he was wronged. He needs a lawyer, surprisingly. And he signs the paper, and I guess it is confirmed what the actual like plan of it is. Foggy lawyered up someone who stole from the Fist, right? Then, while trying to exonerate that person, discovers that the place where it happened is on a free port, which means, I don't know if you guys seen Tenet. You guys ever seen Tenet? Oh my gosh. I know it was Stefania, but you, Derek, come on. A free port is like...
Christopher Nolan doesn't, it doesn't do it for me anymore, sadly. That's a whole other podcast.
That's an old Christopher Nolan movie, though.
Yeah.
Old? It came out during the pandemic. That was last year, right? Right?
How?
Anyway, Freeport, enlighten us on that. What is that?
A free port, they basically explain in the show. A free port is like where you can do trade deals and everything. It's like a tiny spot where there's no like jurisdiction, you know, like America doesn't own it, Canada doesn't own it, and so you can like do trade deals at these free ports, and people can hold their very expensive art tax-free because it's not owned by any specific country, right? And so if this crime happened on a free port, I guess in the Daredevil's world, whatever, or the MCU, they have no law or jurisdiction over it. So how can they be charged with a crime, et cetera, et cetera? So that being said, I think it's a little roundabouty to get Foggy killed. You know what I mean? It feels like if you connect X to Y, B plus C, and that's why Foggy was killed. When I think Vanessa just not liking Foggy could have been, she's been like, fuck Daredevil, let me kill his best friend. You know, it removes a little bit of evil from it. So what did you guys think of Poindexter in this episode, this series, and how he got tricked?
I really like the... Oh, my bad.
You go. Stefania, go first.
Yeah.
I haven't heard her opinion.
I really like the what they did with like him seeing blue. I kind of like the cinematography of it, especially with like what was it, the second to last episode? Oh no, was the second to last episode where it was like the blue flower?
Yeah,
that was a really cool like shot. But I like, you know, you obviously at the end of season 3 of the original Daredevil, you know, Poindexter is not like a good person. You don't like him, whatever. But then you like find out how he's been manipulated, and you kind of feel bad for, I mean, he's done bad stuff, right? But now you start to feel bad for him because like he could have gotten the help that he needed, but I fear that his whole life people have just been like leaving him, you know? And so maybe he found like his one opportunity to kind of like escape that like time that he's stuck in where he's just like frozen in time, I guess, in this episode. His one escape could be his freedom, you know, signing those papers. But he's not really free. He thinks he is, but he's just being manipulated all over again, you know? So you kind of just feel bad for him. You feel bad for him for in this show. I mean, he killed Foggy, but but like it wasn't his fault, you know?
I mean,
okay, well, I want to point out, by the way, because I wasn't here in the first episodes. Just, you know, I was spoiled that Foggy died because immediately it was everywhere. Immediately when the show came out, it was everywhere online that Foggy died, and I just want to call people out that do that. Don't ever do that again. Yo, because it pisses me off, okay? It pisses me off. The show's not even out for like an hour and you're already spoiling something huge.
Yeah. At least wait till the next morning. Like, come on.
I spoiled.
That makes it better.
I spoiled. It was me.
But like even so, like if you're gonna do it, just do like spoiler warning, right? No, none of that. I didn't see any of that.
Okay. I feel bad for, like you said, I feel bad for Poindexter, but at the same time, he killed a lot of people.
He did kill a lot of people.
Like, just because he wanted to. He's evil. He's like real evil.
Evil.
Derek, what did you... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I think they kind of let the genie out of the bottle with his character because like he's irredeemable in my eyes. Like I get it, right? He's probably
Hmm.
psychotic. He probably had some sort of mental break at some point, and there is no going back to just like how to good Point Dexter.
Right.
Um, and but I think they did a really good job at showing like, hey, look, rehabilitation. He's crazy. Let's not just lock him up. Let's put him in a mental hospital. Blah 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 blah. Which is a nice like just juxtaposition with the not white characters who have committed far less egregious crimes, like Leroy, for
Fiddle
example.
faddle.
Yeah.
Leroy's
Um,
crime was his acting. I'm sorry. It was. Stefania, are you a Leroy defender? Did he free my man Leroy?
Who's Leroy again?
Exactly. Uh,
the guy
Leroy
who
was the
stole some
popcorn
snacks.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know his name. Yeah, that was pretty messed up. I like,
Justin
it
hates
just,
his acting.
oh, hates his acting.
Okay.
Well, he
It,
was like a day player, bro. The only
That's
no,
what he
season
said.
I've ever
That's what
seen.
Justin said. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
ever see those? Like it felt like a Law and Order, or Days of Our Lives kind of guy. You know,
Yeah.
like he was like 2 seconds away from having like a backwards baseball cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, man, I'm tired of the system. And I was like,
Yeah.
come on, Disney, we can do better than this. Come on, where's the direction? You know,
He's
I
like,
just.
do the right thing,
Like,
Matt.
oh, boo. Oh my gosh. I just couldn't do it. Anyways, um
Back
I
to Poindexter, though.
back to Poindexter, one of
I
the
think,
best villains in the Marvel universe right now. He's very
yeah.
good.
Mhm.
Very well used too.
Mhm.
And I do feel bad for him. Just
Yeah,
a little bit.
sure.
Just a little bit.
I still hate him, but sure.
Lock
Yeah.
him up.
I understand him a little bit better now.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good
yes.
word to use. Understand him better. Yeah.
Right. But speaking of understanding, Vanessa played him like a fiddle. Like, dang, she really was the kingpin. I think she still is the kingpin. The way she like manipulated him and like worked out in her favor and everything. And she still didn't get shot. Oh, let's talk about let's talk about Vanessa. The kingpin of crime, especially on this show. Stefania, what did you think of Stefania's evil plan? Vanessa's evil plan this season.
I feel like Fisk was kind of just a puppet in this season, and she was kind of like
Interesting.
pulling the strings, but not like
It's an SVU show, guys. It's rough.
And like obviously, at the end of the last episode, Fisk is still the kingpin, obviously. But I feel like Vanessa has a lot of pull because Fisk will do anything for Vanessa. Like she even killed her lover, just to kind of like bury that in the ground,
Yeah.
hide that away, like a scandal, right? And I just feel like there's a lot more to her that we're missing, and we're gonna see a lot more like darker side of her.
Derek, what did you think of Vanessa's evil plan and her wardrobe? Because I love that red dress that she wears. She gets blood all over it. You can't even tell.
I think honestly the whole Vanessa being the catalyst for Wilson, even from the Netflix series on, has always felt a little bit just kind of like lazy. I don't know if lazy is the right word, but it's always felt very kind of like, bro, he's a fucking kingpin. Like he doesn't need.
Derek, haven't you ever been in love before?
Yeah, sure. But the like switch it up here a little bit. You know what I mean? And I think we're maybe getting to that now that he can just focus on like his Freeport crime in season 2 and whatever that's going to be. So like, I just hope they don't continue kind of harping on it. Separate from that, I think she did fine. I think she did a really good job at being the de facto kingpin now that he was mayor and he kind of couldn't. And it's cool that even though he wasn't in charge and he wasn't pulling the strings directly, they're so alike, they're so meant for each other that the business continued to run, and almost to the point where, they're setting up people into traps to get shot in the restaurant, Luca and all that stuff. And it's the way we see it on screen is they don't even communicate it. It's just kind of like, oh, is she going to betray him? And then it turns out like, no, she let Wilson know. And so I think it's fine. I just think the character in and of itself should start to serve another purpose now, and other than to just be like another aspect of Fisk. I don't think I've ever seen her as fully as a standalone character. It's just part of Fisk.
I don't think she needs to be a standalone character, to be honest with you.
She kind of was already with like running the business herself, right?
Yeah.
And she like made them money, like stuff that Fisk couldn't do. So
True.
Right. And then she regressed. Yeah, and then she regressed back into like, all right, well, I'm just his wife now.
I get it. But also, the part that I really want to talk about is that she's trying to explain to Kingpin about what happened. Yeah. And Kingpin just says, I know.
Yeah.
So, was that Kingpin saying like, yeah, I know you kill Foggy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, dang. You know what's worse, though? And after that scene in the beginning of the finale, right? He's like, I know you kill Foggy. And I know that Daredevil took a bullet for me. But man, go kill that guy right now. He can succumb to his injuries. Like, oh my gosh, the Kingpin is back. Like, oh, you're evil. Like, I love to see it. I love this character, but like, god damn.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though? You know what's really funny is that this whole vigilante thing, getting rid of them, all started because of a man in a red suit. That's all it took. A man in a red suit who didn't like what Kingpin was doing. And so he said, I'm going to prevent every other vigilante from doing any harm to me. So I'm going to get rid of all of them. So it sounds very familiar, doesn't it? Anyway.
Who are you referencing?
Unfortunately, real life.
It just sounds like real life, you know? Get rid of people that don't agree with you.
Life?
I mean, who isn't at this point? I mean...
looking around.
Any decent human being, to be honest.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I diabolical.
Think it's very cool how in the beginning of the season when Matt and Fisk meet, Fisk is like, I didn't order that hit. And he's not lying. He's not lying. So he goes from just being like, hey, I'm an honest politician. I'm not a criminal anymore, but I still have some of those tendencies. To just now he's full-blown Kingpin again. So it was his progression, I think, was probably the most satisfying for me in the show, because even Matt's journey to putting the suit back on was kind of, I think it suffered from the 22 episode reduction to 9 episodes. But Kingpin's, I think, felt really good, where, he started off and you think like, is he legit? Is he being honest? Does he really want to save the city, so to speak? And then by the end you're like, oh yeah, I should have known better.
There's a lot of mirroring between Kingpin and Matt, with like getting back into their roles. That's kind of what it is, right? At the beginning, Kingpin wanted to be a politician. He's mayor, right? And it's his born again progress of becoming Kingpin again, just like how it is for Matt becoming Daredevil again.
Right. I think that I said this on Threads too, that after this finale, I think Daredevil Born Again is officially the most political show or political project in the MCU, bar none.
Yeah.
Like, down to the allegories to real life things that are actually happening right now, to the direction of Kingpin being a direct Donald Trump allegory, right? As well as the whole thing with martial law and taking away of civil liberties and going around the law. Like, dang, I know that it took him a while to like make this show, but like, dang, they hit the nail on the head at the exact right time. In fact, there's that scene where like there's that lady. I think Kingpin tells her like, all right, you got to go like get rid of all the people that don't agree, who don't have loyalty to our cause.
Send them home.
I was like, damn, we just watched that. I
saw that on the news.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like, wow, incredible work. from the Daredevil writers. Like really well done on that fart. Oh my god.
On that fart. Ah, what an idiot. He said fart. Ah.
Oh my gosh,
I meant to say
Stinky.
front and part. Oh, and this. Oh,
Stinky.
oh gosh. Anyways, yeah. I think that's mainly my thoughts about Kingpin. I will say that that kill of Gallo, Commissioner Gallo. I want to talk about that because, like, I swear to God, Kingpin is powered. He's powered.
Yeah.
He's a mutant, right? He's
well,
like,
I mean,
at some
he
point,
he has like super strength in the comics. Like he's really strong. So you
Yeah,
just
but,
didn't see a
like-
lot of that in the original show.
He's like a
Okay.
slower Captain America, is how I envision it.
no.
You know, durability wise, sorry. And then, like, maybe strength wise, he's probably not as strong, but he's definitely strong enough.
He took an arrow to the chest. He took a bullet to the face.
Right.
Okay, here's the thing. I just want to know on this. It feels as though my delineation of, like, are you superpowered or not? Can you lift a car? Like Spider-Man can lift a car, right? You
Yeah.
know what I'm referencing there. I think Cap can lift a car.
Yeah.
Could Kingpin lift a car? He can rip a car door off. But
I-
could he lift a car?
I don't think he can lift it. Maybe he could lift like one side. Possibly. Like if he's angry enough, he has to be really,
Okay.
really angry.
He could
do
lift
that.
it if Vanessa is trapped under it. He
Mhm.
will be able to lift it.
Exactly.
I'm
You know?
talking like pick it up over the head.
No.
Probably not. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. I think he could. He would hunt. If you could take a bullet to the face and rip a car door off, like I think I said this in a previous episode. The only two people in the MCU that can rip a car door off its hinges are Captain America and Kingpin.
Yeah.
Are you serious? Jesus Christ. He may have luck powers because he's dodging bullets all the time too.
Yeah.
Like, geez.
You know what's crazy though? You know what's also crazy? If this was any other character that wasn't white, the fans would be so fucking pissed. You know, they'd be like, he's not, why did he rip his head off? How is he so strong? That doesn't make any sense. Is he powered? And everybody would have to be like, well, in the comics, he's his bone density and blah, blah, blah. Like, we'd have to be like explaining it to people.
You
Right?
know
But
what? Actually,
everybody
clip
just
this.
accepts that Wilson
Yeah.
Fisk can just do these things. When in reality, like, I don't think he should be able to be doing this to this extent. You know, it's not to say he's not enhanced, but yo, Kate Bishop blew his ass up with an arrow, and he just was like,
Echo
"Oh shit!"
shot him in the face. Actually,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna say here on the podcast, Kingpin is a Mary Sue. Yeah, I said it. We haven't seen Kingpin training. We haven't seen them access the. It took Daredevil so many years to be trained to get that level, but Kingpin can do it randomly. Bad writing. Anyways, I'm sorry. That was like really hard for me. But yeah, it was. Don't laugh at me, Stefania. Oh wait, Stefania's frozen. Oh
No,
wait,
She's good.
There's maybe it was just me. There we go. Oh no, Derek's frozen too. Oh no. Well, let's talk shit about Derek. Anyway, speaking of talking shit, Matt Murdock escapes the hospital as soon as Kingpin shuts the power down to the entire city, and he meets an old friend. Let's talk about Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. I gotta say, I have no notes.
Yeah.
Punisher was done. I perfectly. Like
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
zero complaint. I disagree with the Punisher, but like his use in this show, perfect.
So
Like,
good.
Seriously perfect. Like
Like he
Yeah,
wasn't
it was
used
great.
too much and he wasn't
Right.
used too little. It was like just right.
right.
Yeah.
Like wow.
I think they're
Like,
saving-
Oh my gosh.
They're saving a lot probably for the special presentation, so they probably didn't want to put it all in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like specifically the scene where he gets captured and he's kind of like, "You think you know who I am?" You know, I thought that was gonna be the like, "You want to join a fan club? Go talk to Steve Rogers or whatever," like that line from the comics. But they didn't really touch so much on that, and they just made it more about like his motivations and his trauma and why he does the things that he does, as opposed to like, fuck off, stop wearing my logo. I think that's what the special presentation is gonna be, is him,
Kill the
tracking these people
cops.
down, and yeah.
You know what's funny though? That wasn't even my favorite Frank Castle moment. It's so small. Like my favorite Frank Castle moment in this episode, like he's like talking shit to Daredevil, and he's like, "If they come up here, I'm not playing patty cake with them." I'm like, God damn, Jesus Christ! And he's shooting people in the face through the table. I was like, damn. I mean,
It caught me off guard. I was like, oh shit, Punisher's back,
really
baby.
violent, like
Yeah.
unbelievably violent.
Yeah.
Is Born Again the most violent project in the MCU? Maybe.
I think so.
I'm trying to think of a
Yeah,
more
it's
violent.
probably Daredevil, not Daredevil. It's probably Deadpool and Wolverine,
Yeah.
but like it undercuts itself with like jokes and ha ha ha.
Mhm.
This is just straight up like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
It's
can't
not, it's
think
a
of-
seriousness to it as well.
I can't think of a more gory scene than Kingpin crushing the face, and you see it
Yeah.
in the MCU.
Yeah.
Like man, maybe I'm like blanking. Like the dust wasn't that gory to me. You know, it's just like the
no.
No,
Like the
I was
actual,
literally
like-
like almost gagging. Like that was gross.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was one of
man.
those like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was doing.
True. Yeah, I will say I love the way he calls him Red, but we still have the red suit. And I think we talked about this in a previous episode that we have set images of Daredevil in the black, the main black suit, which looks so much better in my opinion. I was honestly hoping for like the red suit to get ruined. Not that it's a bad suit. I just love like the black better. I don't know. What did you guys think of that? Him suiting up kind of, but not really. Also, actually, rewind. I have a question. They kill a lot of people in this apartment, right? Then they blow it up, right? What's stopping Kingpin from going, Matthew Murdock killed a bunch of cops in his apartment. We have the bodies in his apartment. What's stopping Kingpin from doing it? Anyways, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. I
What
think
did you think of that scene? That fight scene, which was really good, by the way. Very good fight scene.
Yeah.
the fight scene was really dope. I think it was a real nice. They did a really good job at condensing the. What is it? Your darkest demons versus your angels on the shoulder moment there, where like Matt's looking at the cop that killed White Tiger, and
He
Punisher's
admitted
just
it
like,
too. I was like, oh
yeah,
shit.
no, and but then he's just looking at him, and Punisher's just like, do it. Like he's just like, do it, man, like fucking do it. And then they have the quick little conversation, and then it's like, oh shit, grenade, and they had to dip. So like it was good. I think it was extremely well done. It's starting to paint the light a little bit more onto why Punisher will never be part of the Avengers. like oh, Punisher's not in Doomsday. Yeah, no shit, because he is a liability. He is a fucking mess to work with.
I hesitate on that because, like, I don't believe Punisher is a superhero. He's a vigilante.
Right.
He's I guess, in the Marvel universe. You know what I mean? He's an entity, but I don't think he's a heroic. But in the MCU, unfortunately, the Avengers are okay with killing people. They're more of a strike. We see Hawkeye, Cap, Iron Man kill people. Like, they're dead. Like, we see them like get like laser beamed through the chest, you know? Like, I
Yeah.
remember like that like, oh, when they invaded the thing in Age of Ultron right at the beginning of the movie, like, those people are dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
warfare. That's warfare, though. So it's not the
Yeah.
same
But
as
it's
like,
also,
oh, bring
like-
this person to justice.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
also
that
like
is true.
Punisher is much more brutal with how he kills people.
Right.
So it's
Like,
bloodier, definitely bloodier. Like he will
I'm
put
saying-
like 6 bullets in someone's chest and they're already dead after the first, you know?
So, yeah, which is you're like wasting bullets, my guy.
Yeah. Oh, he's got other ways of killing. So he's not mad about it. He doesn't count
True.
down like Deadpool in what was it, the second Deadpool movie?
Right.
Yeah.
The one time I do want Punisher on my side, Battle of New York would have been nice to have the Punisher. Aliens,
Yeah.
yeah, you can. They're trying to kill us all. You can go get him, Frank. Or Endgame,
Yeah.
Battle of Endgame. They're trying to end the universe. Okay, you could lethal force on like mindless aliens. No big
Yeah.
deal. Maybe I don't think he needs to be in Secret Wars or Doomsday.
You know what I
I don't think
love
they're calling
about
him.
what I love about his like fighting though is his grunts that he does.
The fact
It's
that we
so
all did
good.
it at the same time.
They
It's
like
so
exaggerated it for this series, right?
He's like,
Like it wasn't like that before.
I
Was it like
don't
that on
remember
Netflix?
it
No,
being that like
that much.
animalistic. I remember
No.
like it happening like once or twice. I remember the courtroom scene. Remember when he was like, "I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy," and then he does it, and you're like, "Okay, cool." But every fight you hear the grunts.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I just want like a I guess like behind the scenes like filming of him in the studio just recording those grunts. Like how you see Hugh Jackman do like the like that guy. I just want to see that for him.
That was pretty cool. Not gonna lie. I questioned what Frank was thinking when he was going up to Red Hook by himself. Just I'm gonna do it all, and then like I am so confused. Well, I'm so confused about Fist's plan because in this episode we see a kid just robbing a store for like a thing of TV, right? And he gets shot like pop 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 by the cops. And then he put a mask over him, like, oh, he was a mass vigilante, yada yada. We quote unquote save the city. But then people like Frank get locked up. I know we have to protect the IP. Like, yeah. I don't understand if you're a cop. After you offer Frank a spot on the force, you don't kill him right there.
He's not a
Well, I don't
masked
think-
vigilante.
Yeah, he
Is it
doesn't
the
wear a
mask though?
He doesn't wear a
Is it-
mask.
No, I think the kid that they framed for being a vigilante is just kind of like, well, that's fascism for you. Like,
Yeah, it just
the
shows the
truth is
power that they
what-
have.
yeah, the truth is what we make it. I think with Frank, I'm not even sure that Fisk wanted him to be part of the task force or anything like that. I just think that was his little fan club saying, join us, join us. Like, if the task force
Oh.
didn't happen to be Punisher fanboys, they would have killed him instead of captured him and all that kind of stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do they think Frank does? Like,
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm just a little bit confused. Maybe it's because I didn't watch the Punisher show. But what do they think the Punisher, like, quote unquote, he's not like roaming the
it's
streets. Like, you know what I mean? He's not like
justice.
like justice, but that's
Yeah.
not what
Yeah.
they're doing either. Like,
But to them, it is.
Yeah.
okay. Like
Yeah.
maybe if they caught Muse, like yeah, we got Muse, but Frank wasn't even concerned about Muse.
Well, they
You know what I'm
existed
saying?
before. They
Right.
existed before the Muse issue. So I think it's just like a reflection of her life. Like people are like, oh, anti-establishment, anti-authority,
Right.
justice of his own brand of justice. That represents me. I'm gonna put this bumper sticker on my car. Also,
Right.
Blue Lives Matter. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So I think they're not going to dive into it in the show. I don't think, even in his special presentation, I don't think they'll dive that deep into what the fan club thinks it stands for. But that would be my assumption, is like cops that don't want to be held accountable, but they want the power. And that's how they view Frank, is he's got the power to do this. He's got his own delivery of justice that is outside the law, and that's what they want ultimately.
True. Frank does end up escaping at the end credits scene. Did you guys stay till past the credits?
Yeah.
Thank goodness. I was worried.
I don't know if it's John Bernthal or Frank, but when he has these moments where it's almost like out of character from everything else Frank does in the universe, I really like it. It makes me smile. You know, like the way he's like, all right, let me play this guy real quick. Hey, nice to meet you. Let me shake your hand. He has a moment like that with Karen, where she's like, hey, you asked me for a favor, I did it. And then he just looks at her kind of like a dog looking for approval, you know? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, okay. You know, like you could see these moments of like light, so to speak, right?
Yes.
Like it's there. It's just buried deep in him. And I think it's because it's John Bernthal that it is successfully executed. I don't see anybody else playing Frank Castle, just like I don't see anybody else playing Daredevil
Or Tony
and
Stark.
Tony
Like
Stark. Yeah.
those are Tony Stark level castings where it's like
Yeah.
that's the guy, you know?
Yeah. Irreplaceable.
I will say, I think this is a great time to talk about the return of the wonderful, beautiful Karen Page. I gotta be honest with you, like when she came on stage, like when she came in this show, I was like, everything, you fixed it. The banter, no, not like the banter works, the history behind these characters works. Everything about the show just clicked into place.
The
And
tension. That first
the
episode,
tension?
first 5 minutes, Matt Murdock's already
Right.
getting some play. Or well, he's turning down, going upstairs or whatever, getting out of here, whatever Karen says to him. It was perfect.
Like,
Yeah.
the thing is, like, it works because it's not like they're trying to replicate it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like with, not that like Heather was anything comparable to Karen, but like between like fake Foggy, aka Cherry, and his law partner, which doesn't really have any lines, but also his partner, which is kind of filling the spot of Foggy, but also maybe Karen Page, but like it didn't work. And it makes you mad because those people are people of color, you know? So it's like, I don't want to be like, thank God the white woman showed up, you know? It's just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, give them something more to do besides being like halfway replacements to Karen and Foggy, right? So when she walked in, I was like, it works. This show is just firing on all cylinders. And especially when like Daredevil... he's the heartbeats of Karen and Castle. I was like,
He's
what
like,
the fuck? Hey, yo, wait, hey. Calm
Get
down.
up and leave, bro. Get up and leave.
He smelt it. Did he smell it or did he hear the heartbeat? So he's like,
the heartbeat.
Bro, he's not a fae.
He smells something else, probably.
Estrogen? What the?
That is literally some book talk fae male type of thing. They smell it.
I don't know what that means, but
This is why Stefania is
I
here.
trust you.
Talking about book talk.
No, because fae males and in romantasy books, that's how they tell like the woman is like wants to get it on because he can smell the pheromones.
got it. He's like, damn, you got his number? He's like, you
know
had
what?
Frank Castle's number?
Cut the pod, cut the feed, cut the cameras. We're done. We're done.
Yo, Matt was
Stefania-
jealous too. Matt was jealous. Matt was like,
jealous. He was very
I
jealous.
had to come.
Why? He broke up with her. Like,
He's
come
like,
on.
I had to get my ass down here in person into his bunker just to talk to him. You have his phone number? You have his cell phone number? What the fuck?
Exactly. He doesn't have Frank's cell phone number. He had to smell him out. Gosh, like I think the chemistry was off the charts. Unfortunately, Karen's in the Killers, I guess. Anyways, I think Karen Page, please don't leave the show again. Please, the show needs you. Like, if you're gonna bring back all the characters, bring back everyone.
Yeah.
And so they go to what's it called? The file room. That Foggy was finally, yes, there's storage. They find out Foggy's secret plan, why he was killed. It turns out there's a cop city, or not cop city, but like a free port. We learn all that information. Then Frank gets captured, etc., etc. And then Matthew Murdock suits up as Daredevil one last time, and he doesn't take over.
And he says, "Oh shit, never mind."
Oh shit, never mind, because Karen tells him that you need an army. Like, you can't go in there by yourself. And he's like, I need an army. So let's talk about the title character, Daredevil himself, Matthew Murdock. What'd you guys think of him in this finale and in the entire season of Daredevil Born Again?
I was so ready for him to go in there and just like beat the shit out of everyone.
I think he could have done it.
He could have. He low-key could have done it. I mean, Frank Castle
He
almost
was
did it. Plus,
injured.
Frank Castle escaped, so you have his help, right? Both of them
Right.
could have slaughtered everyone. But like I said earlier, it did feel like a mid-season finale where like
Hmm.
it's just the first part of season one, and then we're gonna get season two like in a couple months or whatever. Um, so it has that like open-ended ending that I wish we had like a solid ending to. Not that
Hmm.
the ending was like bad, but like I just wanted more. Um, but it makes me wonder who he's gonna be assembling for this army. I know he's gonna have like the good cops coming in, right? He has Karen, he has the Punisher, um, he has he has Josie. He's got Josie. Let's bring in the bartender. Come on. Um, and who else does he have? I'm not sure who else he has.
Just a
And
randos.
whoever they could sign on contractually for season 2.
Honestly, that part
Literally.
set me off. That
Jessica
Josie's part really
Jones?
set me off.
Are they gonna have the
Like,
defenders come in?
That's what I thought when they were
Yeah.
setting up like, oh, headquarters, and he's talking to Karen about like, oh, when I was a kid, I thought that I was destined for a greater purpose, a mission or whatever. And you could tell that they're behind some sort of doors. I'm like, yo, they're gonna open the doors and it's gonna be the defenders, and this is gonna be like, post credit level hype for season 2. And then it was just people. It was just normal people.
that was so confusing me. Like, I think that's my main problem. I think that's the core problem with this season of Daredevil Born Again. Well, I guess season. I don't know if we want to classify it as a season 4 because so much has changed.
Yeah.
The main core of it is that you want to introduce Daredevil to the MCU, but at the same time you want to separate him from his Netflix origins while casting the same exact people, but also refuse to, I guess, connect him. Like you can't. The main tension can't be about vigilantes and the ethics of vigilantes. Should they exist? Are they good for the city? And have swordsman, White
Muse.
Tiger, who's dead,
Yeah.
and Frank.
Yeah.
That's it. Like I don't understand the restraint. I don't understand. Maybe it's a legality thing, but like I don't get it.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I'm not saying that. We know Spider-Man can't show up. That's done and done. But also, don't reference Spider-Man at the top of the show.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me. Don't set up my expectations like Spider-Man could exist. You know what I mean? And there's like a billion other New York-based characters in the Disney Plus universe that you could use. It doesn't have to be Spider-Man. It could have been both Hawkeyes. It could be Miss Marvel too. It could
go to Jersey, pick up Miss Marvel, cross the bridge again, put her in the show, right? Not her dad.
Yeah. I mean, she was
Weird,
name dropped
yes.
at least.
Yeah.
But also the Defenders, as
Yeah.
in Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Danny Rand. I don't know if we can call Punisher a Defender, but that's a whole nother thing.
You know, it'd have been perfect. You know, it'd have been perfect if she's like, don't do this, you're gonna die, whatever. And he's like, yeah, I need an army. And she's like, Matt, what are you gonna do? Hire an army? And then it's like,
Smash cut to Harlem.
Smash cut to, yeah, and it's Luke Cage. And maybe not just do a Heroes for Hire joke, because that'd be kind of like too much of like on the nose of an Easter egg. But
Right.
but it's a cool Easter egg, and it's more so, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's probably why it feels as empty as it does, is because that army that is more of just like the resistance, sort of, because I have no investment in what's his name, Jerry.
What's Cherry gonna do?
Yeah.
Matthew Murdock, a man with unbreakable skin, and yet you called Cherry? Get the fuck out of here. I can't. Like, don't set those expectations. I'm not crazy for thinking that the Defenders could come back. I'm not crazy.
Yeah, I thought that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
I was like, this is about to be like the TV version of what Avengers was, right? What the post credit from, I think, Iron Man 2, where he's like, I'm putting together a team or whatever.
Initiative.
Yeah, it was about to be that, and it was
Right.
just not that it was a complete opposite. And then on a similar note, the messiness of, again, Spider-Man and Sony, and Disney just needs to pony up the money and pay for him. You're telling me, like, and this isn't addressed in the show, or it doesn't come up, but he doesn't know who Peter Parker is, but he knows he defended Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
How does that
True.
work? How does that work in his brain? Oh, I defended Spider-Man because of his identity. Oh, okay, who is he?
Doesn't remember.
He's Spider-Man. Yeah, but who? What? Like, it's all this messiness that has happened because Sony sucks dick. You know?
Whoa!
Yeah.
Dang.
Whoa!
It is what it is. If they would have gotten their universe together and up and running, we probably could have maybe even just transported Tom Holland over there or something, or have it be loosely MCU adjacent, where, you know, this is all just like, yeah, New York, there's no Avengers, or the Avengers exist, but like it doesn't really matter because the stories are self-contained. Bro, they didn't even introduce Spider-Man. So now you have martial law, anti-vigilante in New York with no Spider-Man. What the fuck?
Nope.
You've got
No
Thunderbolts, which is gonna take place in New York, and all this shit popping off. How is that?
New York?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is that? How is that gonna tie into Fisk's martial law and Fisk and anti-vigilante bullshit? How's that gonna tie in? But also, like, what is Spider-Man doing during Thunderbolts? Like, there's all this stuff happening with Spider-Man potentially, but it can't happen because Sony.
Well, it's also,
very
when does
frustrating.
Thunderbolts take place? I don't know the
That's
timeline
true.
of it.
That's true.
True, it could happen before or after this.
Yeah.
But also, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Sokovia Accords don't exist anymore. So
Right.
I think this idea in this world isn't that crazy. But number two, I think what separates things like the Thunderbolts as opposed to a masked vigilante is the government funding behind them. You know what I mean? Like, literally, we have what's her name from Seinfeld sending killers out into the world.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
they
know?
might be able to circumvent it, and I guess it's a nice touch that it's like a shadow ops type of team.
Right.
Because in real life, like, if the federal government sent troops into like Dallas, Texas, you know that's going to be an issue, right? Because Dallas, Texas has a law for vigilantes or whatever, and it's the same idea. So I can see why, like, he's able to get away with it to an extent. But I'm more just pissed off about Spider-Man, to be honest. It's less about the Thunderbolts and more about Spider-Man.
Makes sense.
Well, it's
We
also
get it.
like Bucky is a vigilante, right? And now he's
Bucky's
a
a
congressman.
senator.
He's a senator. I thought he was a congressman.
We have to. I don't know if there's a separation between vigilant. I think the MCU thinks that there is between a Avenger,
There might be, yeah.
TM, and vigilante. Like, I don't think Kingpin's gonna pull up on Bucky's house and be like, "Listen, time to hang up the arm, buddy." That's not gonna happen. I don't think he's gonna. Maybe is Hawkeye a vigilant? Clint. He's not gonna arrest Clint. Kate, maybe. Maybe it's the institution. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We have to think about this.
Yeah.
I think it's very Red Guardian coded, you know, in the sense where it's like the government decides who can do this, you know?
Yeah.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing with Fisk, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure he would love to have vigilantes on the actual task force,
Yeah.
you know? And it's
who would
Probably.
join the task force? Throw a Black Widow on there.
right.
Just
would do it.
Taskmaster.
Taskmaster joins the task force. That's why she's not in the rest of Thunderbolts, guys. She gets a
She
call
took
from
another gig.
Kingpin. She survives. Stefania, you cracked the case.
I cracked the case.
She doesn't die, yay.
Oh, you know she'd be good at it though.
She would.
Actually, like, Yeah, but she's gonna get burned to a crisp. Rest in peace, Taskmaster.
She's dead.
I'm
She's
already
voided.
mourning.
Anyway, wait. Bullseye on the task force. That's actually something that could actually happen in this show. Bullseye joins the anti-vigilante task force.
They have to find him first.
Yeah, that's true.
True, but I don't think he would because he got betrayed by Fisk.
He did.
Both
And
Mr.
his wife.
and Mrs. But I think that is the end of our Daredevil Born Again special viewers unit. But before we end, are there any predictions for season 2 that's coming up very shortly? And they're filming it right now. Any predictions about what's going to happen next time?
I think we're going to see Daredevil.
I think we're going to see the Defenders.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think
We're
we're
going to see
finally
some
them.
other hero. We're probably going to get another hero. We'll probably get some more Frank.
Like swordsman?
Or actually, sorry, Frank might just escape, is what it seems like. He's probably just going to get out of there and run, go on the run.
Right. Well,
but I think we're definitely getting another bona fide hero, not swordsman.
Okay.
Ideally, Spider-Man. Ideally, Spider-Man would be...
It's not going to be Spider-Man.
You can't have Spider-Man. I know.
It's not going to happen.
I know. It should be, but it's not. So it's... Yeah, I guess it'll probably be a Defender or two. I'd like to see Heroes for Hire. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Scrap the whole Harlem storyline where he's like running a gang, but in a good way. Like I don't think so.
You know what? Actually, enough time has passed. Luke Cage Born Again. Just throw out the whole thing. Of season.
Luke
what
Cage,
are we attached
Sweet
to
Christmas.
in Luke Cage season 2? What are we attached to? Like that ending was so weird. We don't see the night nurse anymore.
Yeah.
Heroes for Hire. Born
Shit,
Again.
Misty Knight.
Boom, boom,
Misty
boom.
Knight is kind of... I'm kind of attached to Misty Knight.
But last time I checked, Misty Knight was not fucking with Luke Cage. But also, Danny Rand is not even the Iron Fist anymore at the end of Iron Fist season 2. He gave it away, and then he has those weird spirit guns.
You know what?
Literally,
that's news to me because that's the only one of the shows I stopped watching. I could not.
I didn't even watch Iron Fist. I didn't bother.
Because
you could bring him back. You could bring him back though. Like I think he deserves a second chance with some better writing.
Recast. Why are we attached to Danny Rand of all people? Danny Rand.
That's true. Make it the kid from What If. Make it that
the
kid.
The kid from What If.
Yeah, they made. Did you see What If?
Oh yeah. The actually Asian Iron Fist.
Oh,
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Maybe we'll see. But Stefania, what are your predictions for season 2 of Daredevil Born Again?
Well, I said Defenders, definitely.
Yes.
I feel like there's a part of like Vanessa that wants to betray Fisk and get her business back and going, right? Because like I said, it was very successful. And she did not need Fisk for any of that. And she was content. She had an affair with somebody and she enjoyed, and now he's dead, R.I.P. But I feel like she could do something there with that. I would like to see more of like what she can do because it was really not like a lot. We got a little snippet, I guess, this season. I'm curious as to see if She-Hulk may appear at some point in season 2, maybe like at the end.
Oh, to ruin the show.
Not to ruin the show.
And
She's gonna
twerk all over the city.
And twerk all over Matt.
Oh shit.
But it makes me wonder if she might appear because they have crossed paths, right?
Yeah.
And it would make sense for them to cross paths again for something. I don't know. She could be in the East Coast for something. She's a lawyer, whatever, right? There's a chance. I would also like to see Miss Marvel at some point because she's just in Jersey. Miss Marvel and Matt, even like not in.
Oh wait, she might be in California with her friends.
She's in California with her friends, but like in season 2, she's still in California.
Yeah,
it's a long trip.
I don't think it's a long trip. I don't think it's likely for her to be in season 2, but I would like to see something of that.
I just need Spider-Man, bro. We're here talking all this shit. Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Is it?
Weirdly.
Please just pay the money. Okay, start a GoFundMe.
A GoFundMe.
We will pay whatever Sony's asking to get the rights back to Spider-Man.
They will
never gonna
never.
happen.
They will never.
We
Because
can
no
have
matter
a
how much
Spider-Man
money they
renaissance
lose,
within the MCU.
no matter how
wish.
much money they lose with these solo villain movies, they're always going to make bank on Spider-Man, and they will never give him
Right.
up.
It's quite
I hate
unfortunate.
Sony so
really.
much.
It's not half bad. I like Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I don't know about you.
Sure.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It was
maybe-
okay.
Dang.
You know what'd be better? You know what'd be better? Spider-Man and
Taskmaster.
Daredevil.
Taskmaster. Bro's stuck on
Our favorite
Taskmaster.
character. Taskmaster. Anyways, we shall see you next week.
Are we frozen? What are we doing?
What?
I started it a little too early. I didn't mean to click it like to start it. I meant to click it to get it ready, and then
Go
you know
let
what?
go.
Let's just do it again. Let's just do it again. Let's do it again.
I'm keeping this all in.
Wait. No. Wait. Hold on.
Oh, wait. What is it?
Oh,
Fly. Web.
fly.
No,
Go. Web.